Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Monday morning. I wanted to jump on here right quick this morning and just kind of encourage you all. Hopefully, you be encouraged to get out here doing early voting. It starts today, kicks off today. And I've heard people talking about it, and some people have asked me to please mention it about early voting when I come on live. And I can tell you, people have so many questions, and people are so concerned. But some of my answers to people when they through conversation saying, what do you think we should do or what is going on? And my answer is you keep fighting. You keep your face out there. You keep doing the things that you know is right. And one of the things that's right is to get to those polls and vote. Cast your vote. I don't tell people how to vote. I don't have a right to tell people how to vote. But I do say exercise your rights to vote. Now, that's everybody. I'm speaking of everybody should exercise their rights to vote. Don't stay away from voting because of what somebody else is saying. You go, people, I don't know, we've just caught a hold to this verbiage of voting don't count. Voting don't count. Listen, and I've said it once and I'll say it again and I'll continue to say it. Anything that somebody tries to take from you is always something that's going to benefit you or benefit others. When people break in your house, they don't steal something that's not of value. They steal things that are of value. And when people try to break into your life and tell you that something is not worth it, they're telling you that it's not worth it. How do they know? And a lot of times people that are telling you that, they go and voting while they're discouraging you not to vote. So very often, and I know many people have said this, not just behind my back, but to my face, you're too serious. You're too serious. And I will say this. There are points in life where I do enjoy and have fun. But there are major pieces in life that you have to really zero in and concentrate. And you have to be serious about those topics and issues that you face with every day. That's why I do what I do. I'm the person that I am. And I've been this way for years because I'm serious about life. I was raised in a household with a military dad. And he was serious about life. And I picked up his personality. He was serious about it. Yes, he did. He enjoyed life when it was time to enjoy. But guess what? When it was time to be serious, he was. And my late husband, he was the same way. He would laugh and joke, and then he, just like that, go back to being serious but about life. And he was a pastor of 32 plus years. And he used to always tell us, the congregation, look, standing up for what you believe in is primary. My daddy, I was raised with that. When you stand up what you believe in, you don't let nobody change your mind from that. You don't let people come along and tell you that something that you know is of value is not. If it wasn't, people wouldn't be trying to stop you from doing it. They wouldn't be changing all these laws trying to make it harder. and then say, well, we're doing it for the betterment, because people have a tendency to buy into things without even researching it. This morning's talk is a little different because I really do want people to get out there and vote early. Even scripture says, faith without works is dead. Scripture says that. Faith without works is dead. You got to do something. You can't sit on the sideline and stare at it. Because to do nothing, it doesn't take any work. To do nothing, it doesn't require you to do anything. So you just want to do nothing? That's cause for examining yourself. Fannie Lou Hamer said years ago, you can pray until you faint. But God is not going to just sit it in your lap. You got to do something. You can pray until you faint. I didn't say it. Fannie Lou Hamer said it. You can pull it up. But God is not just going to sit it in your lap. You want better in life. You want laws to change for the better, not just for one race of people, for the human race. See, we got this black and this white and this brown and this Asian, and we got all these races that we just competing with, which is crazy to me. Because there's only one race. That's a human race. Human race. I was reminded over the weekend, I went to a voters clinic at Greater New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, where the Reverend William King is pastor. And he offered that to the general public. It wasn't just certain people. He offered it. It was open to the general public to come out and to learn about updates and other information from the chief deputy of elections in Galveston County. I posted his video that he recorded onto my page. I shared it to my page. So if you have any questions about voting, you can go on my page and look at it. I shared it from Reverend King's page. And it was awesome. It was eye-opening. You have to educate yourself about things. You can't just sit up and get mad about something. And stay mad about it. It's crazy. Today is the first day of early voting. And I encourage everybody that can get out there to get out there and vote early. I'm not telling you who to vote for because I can't. That's not my right to do that. But you do need to exercise your right to vote. And listen, look up these candidates. Stop just going out there voting for people. Look up these candidates. See what they stand for. And candidates, look, I know signage is good because people see your name. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law on yesterday, and he said, Electra, what happened to people getting in their cars, going to the communities, shaking people's hands? Years ago, I remember They come through the neighborhoods on these bullhorns, reminding you to go out there and vote. Candidates, people who are running for positions, you got to go out there, keep your face out there, shake the hands of these people. Allow them to make contact with you. Allow them to see the person. Social media is fine. Yes, it is. And it reaches millions of people. Yes, it does. But you got to put your feet on the ground and get out there. And I'm not talking about just going standing up at the polls. I'm talking about going in these various communities where you are asking people to vote for you. Go and let those people see your face. I don't know what happened to people getting in cars and riding through the neighborhoods and telling people, reminding people to go vote. I don't know what happened to that. I just know it don't exist anymore. Now, I'm quite sure there's a few people that do it, but we got to get back out in these streets, and we got to keep our faces out there. Not just us as citizens, not just us as constituents, but candidates need to get their faces out there. The newspaper cannot speak for you. The newspaper can't do that. Those signs that you see up and down the road can't do that for you. I want to know something about you. I want to hear you talk. I want to see you put your feet to the ground and meet some of these people who want to be your constituents, but they don't know you. Let them get to know you. How they do that? You got to hit the ground running right now. And people will say, "Oh, I remember when so-and-so came to my neighborhood and he talked to me or she talked to me. She made contact." People want to see realness. Now, there are some people who are inflexible. They just want things to stay like they are. They don't care what the person do. That's why people stay in positions so long. I tell y'all, I hear so much. I do, believe it or not, that people come to me. They either texting me or calling me or inboxing me saying, "Please say something about voting. Please say something about voting." And I made that promise that I would. So the first thing getting up this morning, I said, I'm going to talk about voting. I've been trying to reach out and let some of those who are running for offices or those who are considering running and haven't really completely made up their mind, to come on to the podcast. Reverend King was my first candidate to come on. And I do stand behind him. And I know him before he started getting ready to become a candidate and run for Galveston County Judge. I know what he's saying is true. I know he means what he says about helping people because he already been doing it. My late husband looked up to him a lot. He admired him because of the good works he continues to do. Where he go, anywhere he goes, people love hearing him talk, and that includes me. Because I know that he lives by what he's talking about, and he's on the ballot. I mean, we need to know these people. We need to know these people that we bubbling in. Our choices. Go to the internet. Pull up their profiles. Stop just, voting don't count. I'm not going to vote. Then you start telling other people not to vote. But if you don't do nothing, I'm going to go back to my dear dad who's gone on into glory. To do nothing, nothing gets done. to do nothing, nothing gets done. So when you can't go out there and exercise your right to vote, that's on you. Because you're telling other people that you don't have a voice. Y'all make the decisions for me. I don't want to be that kind of person. Even if things don't fall your way, at least you can say, I exercised my civic duty, my right to vote. I exercised my right to vote. We listening to everything, and the world is on fire. We act like nothing going on. Call me old school if you want to. I was just raised that way. My parents raised us that way. Sometimes it's time to put everything down and get to the business of the day. It's time to put things down. You can put things on hold and parties and all this other stuff you got going on. It don't take but a minute to go vote. Because if you don't vote, you're telling people that you don't have a voice. You're telling people that you can't make a decision. I don't want to be known for that. You shouldn't want to be known for that. I say this time and time again. I don't want people to ask my grandchildren, what did your grandmother do? And they say nothing. My grandchildren will not say that their grandmother didn't do nothing. Your grandchildren and your children shouldn't be able to say that when we were on the brink of losing democracy, that you sat back and did nothing. And you know what? When you put people in office, you holding people's foot to the fire. We put people in offices and they just sit there and do nothing. And we vote for them year after year after year for whatever our little personal reasons are. Instead of saying, this is not designed to help everybody. This is not designed to help the human race. Because to do nothing, nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. You go to your job today and think you're going to do nothing. You're not going to have that job long. And just like Fannie Lou Hamer said, you can pray until you faint. God just not going to sit it in your lap. You got to do something. Then scripture says, faith without works is dead. We telling people, I'm going to pray for you. Are you really praying for them? Or is that just the easiest thing to say? Is that the easiest thing to say? We have no reason not to be registered and voting. Education, registration, participation. If you go out here these next 2 weeks for early voting, you got that behind you. So you won't get caught up in the big day. You're already out there. I urge people to vote early. Get out there and get that behind you. This Wednesday, I will be having Commissioner Holmes on. Stephen Holmes from Precinct 3 of Galveston County, Commissioner Holmes. He's going to be my guest this Wednesday on Electra James Inspirational Talks podcast. I'm asking you to tune in. That's your opportunity to tune in, and on the second computer is the chat section. And I can see what you're putting in the chat section, and I can pose those questions that you may have to him. I'm not a commissioner. I've never been a commissioner. Hey, but he is. And he's coming on as my guest. I love to invite people on where people want to have a conversation. And that's why they come on, to have a conversation with the world. They're not just talking to me. They talking to you too. And guess what? These interviews that are conducted, they're not just by viewers in the United States. There's viewer in Russia. There's viewer in London. There's viewers in the Congo. It's people outside of just Texas. There are people in Arizona. There are people in New Mexico. There are people all over who listen to Electra James Inspirational Talks. And you know what? And I'm thankful to God for that, because that's not me doing it. That's him doing it. Because he gave me this vision to provide a platform where everyday people can come on and speak to the world. And I am telling you, they have a wealth of information. I find out stuff I didn't even know. When Pastor King, who is now candidate running for the Galveston County judge position, he shared so much information. I mean, like, people were just, even after the interview, were sending myself and my technical director questions, feedback. Happy, excited that he was on to share not just who he was in his candidacy, but he shared historical information, what led him to grow up and want to be involved in voting. And he's done more than just right here. He's been on the Galveston, I think it's Galveston and Harris County. It's some kind of council. A lot of things that he's taken parts in. I know it's called HGAC, Houston Galveston Area Council. Yes, HGAC. He's done a lot of things locally. So many things. Things that tie into the state. So many things. And outside of all of that, he's a pastor. See, when people have proven themselves, and I say this all the time, I'm not going to keep trying to prove myself to you when I done already showed you who I am. I can't keep proving myself, because if you don't believe it by now, you're never going to believe it, who I am. And that's what you have to say to people. And that's what you have to believe within yourself. Why do I have to continue to prove to people who I am when I've already proven who I am? If I've proven to you that I'm a loyal person, why do I have to keep proving that to you? If I've proven to you that I'm going to stand up for what is right, why do I have to continue to try to prove that to you? You don't have to kill yourself trying to prove to people what you've already proven, because your works speak for themselves. your works speak for themselves. Maxine Jones came on last Wednesday. I mean, people, I am telling you, are really concerned about voting. Not in a bad way, they just had questions. What do I do if I go out to the poll and I have a disabled person with me? How do we get that person's voting completed? It's a number out there. You pull up to the spot where there's numbers out there. You call in, let them know where you is, and they bring it out to you. They bring it out to you. You vote from where you are. But it's a process. I didn't even know. I'm telling these people are educating me. I didn't even know that you can literally, if you're disabled and you want to actually go in, you can go to the front of the line. You don't have to wait to get in and vote. It's so many things. Just wealth of information. And we're going to continue it with Commissioner Holmes. We started out with Reverend King, the candidate for Galveston County Judge, who is on the ballot. Then we went to Maxine Jones, who is Galveston County election official, and she talked about voting. And this Wednesday, we will be speaking with Commissioner Holmes, and he's going to share whatever wealth of information that he has for us. People, all I'm saying is get involved. I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm just telling you. When I say how to vote, I'm not telling you to vote for Democrat or vote for Republican. I can't, independent. I can't tell you to do that. But what I can tell you to do, ask you to do, is to vote. Exercise your right to vote. Because what will people say? I'm talking about the people that you claimed all your life that you loved and you wanted the best for. Will they say you sat it out? Will they say that when democracy was raging, did you sit it out? Or did you rise up, like Fannie Lou Hamer said, and do something? Because you can pray all you want. God ain't just going to sit it. It's not just going to sit it in your lap. And then scripture tells you, faith without works is dead. People, first day of early voting, go cast your vote. Once you cast your vote, go tell some other people. And look, it's up to them if they reject you. Because you don't have nothing to do with somebody else's actions or their beliefs. But you do, and you should uphold your beliefs. Okay? What you believe in. What do you believe in? The world is made up of laws. In every aspect of your life, you can attach a law to it. Every aspect. So, I'm going to get off of here. Get off of my rant this morning. And I wanted to speak to that because I've had so many people, y'all just can't imagine, saying, please say something. Please say something, Electra, about voting. And I promised them that I would. And so I'm up this morning and sharing this video this morning and asking you, I'm just asking you to get out and vote early. So you don't have to be in the long line when it's the last day to vote. Candidates, I'm telling y'all, people want to see y'all out there in the streets. People want to see y'all faces. I'm telling you, because it's been, yes, me and my brother-in-law did have this conversation, but he's one out of the many that have mentioned that to me. Get out here in these streets. Keep your face out here. I don't care. I don't know how you going to do it. I don't know when you going to do it, but it need to be done. I can remember those days too. One person was driving, the other person had the bullhorn and going through the neighborhoods. Going through the neighborhoods, telling people to go vote. Some things you shouldn't do away with. But I'm telling you what the street's saying. My late husband used to say that all the time. You got to talk about what the street's talking about. Anytime you're a leader or you want to be a leader, you got to talk about what the street's talking about. And right now, the streets is talking about people wanting to see your face as candidates. The signs is good. The social media is good. But they want to see the human being that they're trying to consider voting for. And if we're going to turn all of this frustration around that people have about voting, put your face out there. I guarantee you, you will calm some fears, because that's what the street talking about. The street's talking about their fears. The street's talking about they don't know who these people are. The streets is talking. And I will go back to what my late husband said. You got to talk about what the streets talking about. And then you can react in a way that the streets will recognize you. All right? Y'all have a wonderful day. Get out there and vote. I've did my duty. I've done what people asked me to do this morning. And they will see that I submitted their request of me. So y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go vote today. That's going to be how I celebrate this Black History Month. I just put that out there for myself. I ain't saying nobody else got to do it. But that's how I'm going to memorialize Black History Month, by casting my vote. All right? Exercise your civic duty. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.